Welcome to another edition of Authentique's Garage, and today we've got another undesirable vehicle in the fleet. A 2006 Renault Megane 1.6 hatchback 5-speed manual. Another jalopy that I saved from the crusher. Another car that no one cares about that was supposed to be in the Uber Carshare fleet but now isn't. And another Renault Megane II. Yep. So before we continue, better jump back in the car because it is a boiling hot Australian summer day and there's lots of insects around. So, how the hell did I end up with this car? Well, I was searching on Facebook Marketplace a few months back and this turned up for $1,100 and the owner said they were going to scrap it. Now, I wasn't going to let this go to the junkyard. Once I saw its pictures, it looked very, very, very nice. It's only done, at the current moment, 157,000 kilometers. It had 155,900 when I got it. And it is basically immaculate. Apart from the typical Euro trash sagging headliner, the seats are brilliant, the dashboard isn't sticky. This fly should go away. We are in Australia in the middle of summer. But everything on this car, all the buttons, controls, they're all in fantastic condition. But it hadn't been driven for quite some time, or more or less hadn't been driven a lot for quite some time. So there were a lot of things that needed doing. A lot of deferred maintenance. So it hadn't been driven for quite a while, and there's quite a lot that needed doing on it. There was a lot of deferred maintenance in this car. I mean a lot. Hadn't had a timing belt, hadn't had the brakes done, had basically bald tyres, and it needed a lot of electrical things. So all those window regulators on this car, I had to borrow from a wrecked car that had only done 120,000 Ks, which was quite sad to see, and it needed them all fixed. So what's it like in the interior of a very nice Megane II? Well, it feels like it did back in 2006, barring this sort of worn, typical door handle, grab handle trim. Everything else in the car feels like it was when it left the factory in February 2006 in Douai, France. So what's the 1.6 like to drive? It's a very sweet little car. Nice, neat, snickety gear chains. Nice, neat little gear change. Nice throw to it. Only got 5 gears, being the base model, not the 6-speed that you find in a 2-litre or a 225 or a 1.9 DCI manual. But still, very positive little thing to drive. And because there's less weight over the front wheels, this thing's actually very, very well balanced. The ride, well, on crappy patchwork sealed roads like this is very good. You expect this out of a French car. It's designed to go over roads and iron out every pimple and every bump on the road. It's a very positive car to drive, very easy to drive. That's what makes it such a nice car. Because every time you drive it, it's a very positive experience. You're not having to drive some unwieldy beast around. This thing's very nice, very easy to guide. Very good car to learn in, I would say, as well, and very good car for someone older as well that just want to. Very good car to learn in, especially as a manual. Be really, really good to learn in this thing. Having learned on the Corolla, I reckon if I had one of these, this would have been a lot more confidence inspiring. Ride is just on this road is typically terrible, and when I'm in the Mazda I'm bouncing around everywhere here, whereas this thing, it just irons it out. The famed French car ride quality, because the roads in France are pretty ordinary and this car is designed to tackle those, and also other areas in southern Europe which roads are also very ordinary. When you sit down and see in this car, the materials do feel a bit cheap. And yes, it does rattle around a bit being an old French car, which you kind of expect it to. freeway now. Going up onto the freeway now. Into third, 70 k's an hour. Into fourth, 90 k's an hour. This has the Euro Trash Speedo. So 100 is between 90 and 110. So that's something you need to get used to. I had a lot of renters get fined in the DCI because of the Euro Trash numbers. It doesn't give you 100, it gives you 90 or 110. It's very much made for France, Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece, where their speedos are all in speeds are in increments of 90 or 110 or 70, not 60 or 80. In fifth gear now, 100 k's an hour, 3,000 RPM. It's not the quietest thing in the world on the freeway, but cruises reasonably well. Really needs a bit of urging to go past 100, at least past 110. So you're not likely to get many speeding fines in a 1.6 Megane. But that's not bad. You stick the cruise control on, the typical Renault cruise control. You push the button and you go on the steering wheel, although this one has a bit of a flaw where it only really wants to go up rather than down. One of a few faults this thing's got. It has a few little niggly faults here and there. Has a few little mischievous faults here and there. Has a few miscellaneous faults here and there. The CD player doesn't really want to work. That cigarette lighter doesn't really want to work either. And that's really about it on the headliner, but these are all little things. So I said before that this car had a lot of deferred maintenance that had not been done. About $4,000 worth of deferred maintenance. If you are thinking of doing any car that has a lot of deferred maintenance, just expect there to be a lot of money, little bills that you just have to spend the money on. And it's not going to be showstoppers like head gaskets and timing chains and turbos. It's not showstoppers like that. Okay, this did need a timing belt, because the last time I had a timing belt according to the logbook was 2011. So I don't know if it had one before or after, but yeah, it had 60,000 Ks at the time of the last timing belt, and it had 155 when I got it. Yeah, I knew that this car didn't need to be driven far until the belt was done, which is what I did. I made sure I didn't drive it too far in case the timing belt snapped, which it didn't, thankfully. It also needed brakes because they were all shot, and I found that out on a wet day, and I nearly hit someone before I dropped it off to get them done. It needed tyres because they were also shot, and I've got a nice set of 4 Pirelli Power Gs on it. Again, it was being set up for a rental car. This was supposed to be a rental car for South Australia because we needed a car that was going to be like the Ford, more or less, cheap, economical, and given SA's not the most savoury place in the world to leave a rental car. It had to be a manual. So I'm really looking at 1 or 2 certain types of people with it, but that was okay. The Ford got lots of rents because of it. To put it mildly, this car owes me just under $7,000. That's a lot of money. But let's put it this way. This car, only real thing it needed was one of the fuel return line was not on properly, so it sort of knocked off somehow. I don't know where it had been. The fuel return line had been knocked off somehow. I don't know where it had been. So it needed to be put back on, and it was a little dirty. But that was it in terms of major things. Everything else was just deferred maintenance. Oh yeah, and those window motors which I had to pinch off a wrecked Megane 2 litre in South Australia that had only done 120,000 kilometres. It hurt me to pull them off that car because it would have had so much life left in it. Had someone actually fixed it. And no, the timing belt did not snap. I did check. Yeah. But put it this way. Because of fixing this car, I don't need to buy another new car. I don't need to put more energy into making a new car. I've set all the carbon emissions that this car's already used to make this car have already been paid. All I'm doing here is preserving it and keeping it driving and saving fuel as I do it, because it is more economical than most of my other cars. I'll effectively say, instead of throwing this away at 155,000 Ks, it has plenty of life left in it. I'll get probably at least another 100,000 Ks worth of life out of this car, relatively trouble-free. Hopefully that's the case. To me, ultimately, the Megane is a fun little thing to drive. It's a lovely car to be in. And yeah, I'm stuck with it after it not being rented, but I'm not upset I'm stuck with it. I'm really not. I've saved a very, very usable, dependable car from the scrapyard yet again, and stuffed up that stuff, and actually save the emissions of building another car for me. Keeping this on the road, fixing this, is far greener than me buying a new car, even no matter what it is, petrol, diesel or electric. Keeping it going, fixing it, it's already paid its emissions, and it being a little small hatchback, it doesn't really emit a whole lot, and it's very economical on fuel. And that's what my rentals, the new rental platform, is going to be aiming at when I ultimately build it up. Building a car where basically automotive recycling, saving cars from being thrown away and putting them to good use by serving everyone at a very reasonable price in a car that's interesting, that they'll enjoy. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like what we do, remember to like and subscribe.